Meralco, with the connivance of ERC, they never computed. Mula nung 2015 hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin po nagko-compute ang ERC. And in accordance with the Asian crisis nung 2010, nung 2014, 2015, wala na po tayong financial crisis. And all the interest rate, ang risk rate ng bansa, ang financial requirements nila, mga indicators are telling that the weighted average cost of capital is so low. So, anong ginawa ng ERC at ang Meralco? They connive. Dahil pag nag-compute sila ng mga panahon ng 2014, bababa ang weighted average of cost of capital. As a matter of fact, I challenge each and every one of you. Tingnan po natin ang WACC ng Meralco today. Dahil sila po ay publicly listed office, they are being externally audited. Nakalabas po dyan kung magkano ang profit nila. At lalabas dyan, tignan po natin ang WACC ng Meralco today sa Google. 9.23% ang kanilang WACC. Ngayon, 9.62% ang kanilang WACC. At sinisingil na tayo sa 14.97% mula noong 2015 hanggang ngayon. Hindi makatarungan yan sa ating pong 7.6 million Pilipinos na siningil nila ng sobra-sobra mula ng 2015 hanggang ngayon. Nung unang taon na hindi po nila kinompute ang WACC noong 2015, that is acceptable. Ikalawang taon na hindi sila nag-compute, that is questionable. Ikatlong taon na hindi sila nag-compute, that is highly debatable. Pero ika-4, ika-5, ika-6, ika-7, ika-8, ika-9, ngayon, magsasampung taon na, hindi pa rin nila kinukompute. That is incredible. BS. Yung mga nandyan sa ERC, mula 2014 hanggang ngayon, we need to invite them. All the commissioners, all the chairpersons must be invited here to be investigated because they have to be held responsible. Why? They never computed, Mr. Speaker. They never computed. And we're giving them thousands of pesos of money monthly dahil sila po ay pensioners. Hanggang ngayon, pensyonado sila. Binabayadan natin sila dahil hindi sila nag-compute ng tamang profit ng kita ng Meralco. At ano sabi ng Meralco? Ano sabi nila? Meralco cares. Di ba ano sabi ni Manong Diyos sa ni Ate Maita? Oh, bumababa na po ang ating per kilowatt. Oh, bababa na po kayo ng 50 cents per kilowatt. If they really care, Mr. Speaker, alam na alam po nila ang WACC. 9.26% lang ang profit dapat nila. Kung meron talaga silang moral decency, moral purity, and rectitude, they should have tell ERC, Oy ERC, nakakahiya na sa taong bayan. 10 taon na tayong hindi nagko-compute. Diba? Nakita naman natin ang WACC. We were being externally audited. Ha? Figures won't lie. Hindi mapapasabalian that they're being externally audited. And we need, Mr. Speaker, ibalik ang sobrang pera sa bayan sa pamamagitan ng cash. Ibalik natin sa 7.6 million Filipinos, including you, including me, magbalit sila ng pera sa atin. It's high time, Mr. Speaker. It's high time that this Congress, in accordance with Section 17 or Republic Act 9209, creating the franchise of Meralco, be invoked because the power of this Congress that was given to them, the franchise is not exclusive. If public interest so requires, Section 17 will apply. In accordance with Section 14, they never submitted even a single documents in this Congress yearly for us to find out the real profit na dapat ay kinocompute po ng ERC. But they never computed in the last 9 years. Magsasampung taon na po, mag-iisang dekada na. Ang sobrang pag-aapi sa ating mga kababayan ay hindi natin mapapayagan. Ano ang isa sa pinakamabigat na ginawa po ng Meralco? They are economic saboteurs. Sinasabotahe po nila ang ating ekonomiya. Why? In accordance with Republic Act 9513 or the Renewable Energy Act of 2008, the government is mandated to encourage our consumers to be a part of the economic growth through energy development. Ang sabi ng batas, ang puso ng batas, ini-encourage natin ang ating mamamayan na ma-involve sa ekonomiya sa pamamagitan ng paglalagay ng energy development, ng renewable energy facility sa bawat tahanan ng mamamayang Pilipino. Bakit? Kung magkakaroon po tayo ng mga pasilidad na hango sa mga renewable energy like araw, hangin, tubig, basura, biomass, na kung saan magkikreate tayo ng kuryente. And we created the net metering. Mr. Speaker, magsisiro po ang ating Meralco bill. Andyan po, tingnan po natin ang aking mga kaibigan na nagne-net metering. Zero ang binabayaran nila. Ito ang kinatatakot ng Meralco na ang lahat ng ating mga mamamayang Pilipino ay magkaroon ng net metering, thereby constituting no electricity bill sa kanila. Mr. Speaker, zero. Yung aking mga kaibigan nagtatanong, how does it work? Paano ba yung nag-work yung net metering? Because this is not being properly explained to all of us. Ang net metering po, Mr. Speaker, yung araw na kukunan mo, maglalagay ka ng solar panel sa iyong bahay, makakakuha ka ng kuryente, maiipon mo, at dadaan sa iyong metro, sa net metering, imi-meter niya, ineneto niya kung ano yung nagastos mo na kuryente. At kung ano yung kukunin mo sa Meralco, yun ang babayaran mo. At kapag nakapag-impok ka ng kuryente, o-offset mo lamang yung ginamit mo at yung sosobra, export mo sa Meralco. May utang pa sa iyong Meralco. Mr. Speaker, nagawa ng iba. Even yung ating po tinatawag na Imperial Subdivision doon po sa San Vicente, Santo Tomas, Batangas. They are solar-powered middle houses na kung saan wala silang binabayaran kahit 5. May credit pa sa kanilang Meralco. Tingnan po natin ang Tatag Imperial Homes na kung saan ito po yung unang per solar-powered community located at Barangay San Vicente, Santo Tomas. 0 po ang binabayaran nila. And if only the 7.6 million subscriber of Meralco ay makakabitan po natin ng tinatawag po nating renewable energy facility. Yan man po ay solar, yan man po ay wind, yan man po ay tubig, yan man po ay basura. Mr. Speaker, that will help a lot in our economic growth. A 1.5 kilowatt peak na mapoproduce sa 3 solar panel, that will create a 7 kilowatt hour of kuryente. At makakadevelop tayo ng 11.4 gigawatt hour na in relation sa target ng DOE na magkaroon tayo ng 19 gigawatt by 2014, that will be realized by this country. We don't need to rely on fossil fuel anymore. We don't need to rely on coal. Because bibigyan natin ng libreng kuryente ang ating mamamayan. This is our moment. Huwag nating hayaan na hindi may balik sa taong bayan yung ating pong sobrang ibinayad sa Meralco. Pinahihirapan po ng Meralco ang pagkuha ng mga voluminous permits. Sa ating po mga building official, through the different LGUs, they conducted different trainings. Having so many requirements, dati po ang pagkuha ng requirements sa net metering, 3 linggo. Ngayon, 1 taon, hindi pa lumalabas ang iyong mga permits. We have to relax All of these requirements enable for the consumers to be a part of the economic growth and the energy development. This is the only way para makalayo tayo sa coal. This is the only way para matulungan po natin ang ating gobyerno. Tandaan po natin, this is the mandate that was given to us by the Speaker. The Speaker have told us to uplift the life of all our citizens. And this is the only way, Mr. Speaker, that we will be going to give back sa ating mga mamamayan. Yung pong ibabalik na pera na Meralco, ilagay natin sa mga mahirap nating mamamayan. Mga solar panel, mga net metering. After the 2008, that this Republic Act 9513 was approved, alam niyo po ba kung ilan out of the 7.6 million nagne-net metering sa buong Pilipinas, sa buong Luzon? Only 6,000 individuals. Because the hardships of getting the requirements are being perpetrated by this Meralco. Mr. Speaker, maraming po salamat sa binigay niyong pagkakataon. And with this, Mr. Speaker, I hope that this Congress will act on this. And I hope that this will be referred on Committee on Franchise and the Committee on Public Order for us to find out the culpability of those people who have been liable for this irresponsibility action that they have perpetrated to our Filipino people. Sa inyo po lahat, maraming salamat, and I submit.
Mr. Speaker, this representation stands in support of the statements and proposed resolution of Representative of Lone District of Santa Rosa, Laguna, Honorable Congressman Dan Fernandez. The people of San Pedro Laguna shares the same problem and concerns with the people of Santa Rosa, both in the coverage or franchise area of Manila Electric Company. We are all aware that our country has very high electricity rates and, in fact, one of the highest electricity rates not only in Asia but in the whole world. We are also aware that our country could not effectively attract foreign investors despite efforts of the government, even by the President himself, to encourage investors from other countries to come and put their businesses here. The fact is, investors are not responding well because of frequent power outages and high power rates. Meralco is, by law, a monopoly distribution utility in the franchise areas, enumerated by Honorable Representative Dan Fernandez. But because the Electric Power Industry Reform Act, or EPIRA law, assigned to monopoly DUs the obligation to contract with power generation companies and buy the electricity supply for captive electricity customers, which I served as one of the youngest department heads for corporate services. Meralco is also a monopsony in the Philippine electricity market, being the biggest distribution utility in the country, having electricity demand that is more half of the demand of the entire country. As a monopsony, Meralco could have been instrumental in reducing power rates of the country, the very reason why the electric power industry was reformed by Congress in 2001. Fast forward to 2023, after 22 long years, the power rates of the Philippines surge instead of reducing to an affordable and competitive level. From 3 pesos per kilowatt hour in 2000, we now have 12 pesos per kilowatt hour. Why have our power rates increased instead of reduced? Because Meralco has chosen not to use its market power as a monopsony to reduce power rates. Instead, it has chosen to profit as a supplier of electricity. The luxurious profit guaranteed by the Energy Regulatory Commission, or ERC, as a distributor of electricity is not enough for the Meralco shareholders. Meralco is therefore tempted to choose between reducing power rates for captive customers and increasing its profit as a supplier. Mr. Speaker, we can help Meralco help our country reduce power rates to save our country. Let us remove the temptation for Meralco that prevents it from reducing power rates. In power contracting the generators. We can either divide Meralco as what Congressman Fernandez proposed, or Meralco must give up entirely its interest in the supply of electricity. I urge my colleagues in the House to support the proposed resolution of our dear Congressman Dan Fernandez. It is high time that we put the interest of the Filipino people first and foremost. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, at mabuhay ang mas matibay, mas pinatatag, at mas pinalakas na bagong Pilipinas para sa ating magandang bukas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pwede pong...
the Honorable Fernandez may
thank you
respond.
so much, Congressman Matibag. I remember that Congresswoman Matibag was from IMAP before. And most likely the reason why she stood is she can relate on the problem. Because if I can remember it right, during the time of Attorney, mabuti tumayo po kayo, si Attorney Matibag, when he was the Transco President, he submitted a weighted average cost of capital noong 2019. But it was set aside by ERC. They never applied it. Why? Alam na po natin yun. Hindi naman tayo tanga para hindi natin malaman kung ano yun.
Yung 15, from 2015 up to now, yung nabanggit niyo po yung computation nung overpricing ng kuryente. Have you, meron na ba tayong estimate noon, Mr. Speaker?
Ang ginawa po kasi nila, Mr. Speaker, according sa rules ng distribution wheeling rates ng ARC, every 4 years, kailangan binabago mo yung computation ng pagkakakitaan ng Meralco. At yun ay nag-expired noong 2015. Supposedly, ang 2014, magko-compute na sila ng panibagong weighted average cost of capital na kung saan po, ang pinagbabasihan pala nila ay noong 2010 pa. Kasi 4 years eh. 2011 to 2015, ang pagbabasihan nila, 14.97%. Pero nakita nila na noong 2014, bumaba na lahat ng indicators. Lahat ng risk rate, lahat ng interest rate, bumaba na. So, ang sabi nila, nako, kapag kinompute natin to, sigurado to, bababa yung weighted average cost of capital. At kaya, pwede ko papakita sa inyo, dahil noong 2017, ang weighted average cost of capital natin is 7.7% lang. So, kung mababa ang weighted average cost of capital nila, mababa yung magiging profit nila. So, what they did was to have a conversation with the ERC. That's the reason why we will be inviting them to be a part of the investigation. Because ang ginawa po nila, nagpalit po sila ng tinatawag na interim maximum allowable revenue. Imbis na mag-compute, ang ginawa po nila, bigyan natin sila ng temporary maximum allowable revenue. Yun ang kikitain nila without computation, without any parameters, without any indicators. It's all projection na itong bibigay natin sa kanila. Yun ang ginawa ng ERC. Hindi sa loob ng 1 taon, hindi sa 2, hindi sa 3 taon, sa loob ng 9 na taon.
Yes, okay. Nag-gets po natin yun, naiintindihan natin. Marami namang mga corporation, mga kumpanya, sinasabi nila nalulugi sila. Pero actually, Mr. Speaker, kung mag-agree din sa atin ating colleague si Dan Fernandez, ay sinasabi nilang nalulugi sila. But in fact, bumaba lang siguro yung kanilang kita. Pero hindi sila nalulugi. So, ganyan yung nangyayari. And supposedly, yung ERC ang mag-regulate at mag-control niyan in favor of the consumers, not in favor with the Meralco.
Yeah.
Tama po ba?
Yeah, correct po yan. At kung talaga ang contention po ng Meralco is that nalulugi sila, it's high time that we renew. I-renew na po natin yung prangkisa nila. At nasa ganun po, yung malaking prangkisa na binigay po natin sa kanila, hatiin na po natin sa 3. Kasi nakasectorize na naman nakasectoralize sila eh. Central, yung NCR, yung sa South Luzon, yung sa Calabarzon. Pagdating naman sa North, yung na North sector, hatiin na natin yung prangkisa nila. Nang sa ganun, hindi na po sila mahirapan at nalulugi naman po pala sila.
Yes. Ayun pong binigay natin na prangkisa sa Meralco, So, covered po ba dito yung, kasi ano na sila supplier, generators, o nagge-generate, nagtatransmit, yung gano'n. So, yung bang yung franchise, dapat i-review kung kasama yung lahat ng yun.
I got your point, Congressman.
So, hindi yung parang sa place, sa mga lugar.
Okay. Kasi po yung sa sinasabi niyo tungkol sa pagbili po nila ng kuryente, no? Kasi dito po sa Pilipinas, very unique po yung ating ginawa. Actually, this was not the intent of this House of Representatives 25 years ago. 25 years ago, hindi po yun ang ating bill na sinabmit sa Senado. Ang sinabmit po natin, wala po tayong cross-ownership. Wala po yung Section 45 na kung saan ang distribution utility makakabili siya ng kuryente sa kanyang mga ka-affiliated. Come to think of it, common sense dictates kung ikaw ang distribution utility at affiliated ka sa mga kumpanyang ito, di siyempre bibili ka doon sa mga ka-affiliated mo, doon sa mga kasosyo mo. We allow it. 50% under Section 45 ng EPIRA Law, inalaw natin yon, pero hindi tayo ang nag-allow. Ang nag-allow doon sa bicameral sa Senado 25 years ago. And that's the reason why we need to review it. We need to delete the cross-ownership section. For us, ang Meralco, maging distribution utility na lang. At kung pag sila'y distribution utility na lang, alam mo pa kung anong gagawin nila, Congresswoman? Ang sasabihin nila, pababain na natin ang pababain ng kuryente. Kasi distribution rate lang sila.
Yes. Yes, tama, Mr. Speaker, nag-agree din ako doon sa cross-ownership. So, doon sila nagkakamal ng, ng tinatawag nating tubo. So, ang representasyon bang, ang atin bang representasyon from Laguna, Mr. Speaker, would file a House resolution to investigate yung sinasabi. At para rin, Mr. Speaker, masingil ng mga consumers yung excess na tubo or excess na siningil sa ating mga consumers. So yun kasi yung concern ko no? Yung masingil ng mga consumers, yung sobra-sobrang siningil mula sa kanila ng Meralco.
Kanina po na nasabi ko, I move for the referral sa Committee on Franchise and the Committee on Public Order and Security para na sa ganun po ay makita natin yung culpability ng Meralco in terms ng sabotaging yung ating economic growth through the energy development. Kasi naka-curtail yung pagbuo natin ng energy development through renewable energy facility. Kasi nga pinahihirapan nila yung mga documentation. And this also, yung ating pong mga building official ng different LGU, they must be held responsible as well. You know why? They're not undergoing the ARTA, yung anti-red tape authority, na kung saan wala na pong face-to-face dapat yung pakikipagkuha ng permit ng ating pong mga consumer because this is something that will be helpful to our society. Pero anong ginagawa nila? Nagkakaroon ng communication. That's the reason why yung ating pong numbers na nagne-net metering, out of 7.6 million, can you imagine? 6,000 lang ang nagne-net metering. Hindi nga nila ina-advertise Di ba? And I hope that maging klaro po sa ating mga kababayan that we have to fight for this because meron tayong pera ngayon na kailangan natin singilin sa Meralco.
Okay.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Dan Fernandez, the interpellation of the Honorable Franz Castro, and the manifestation of the Honorable Ann Matibag to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The privileged speech of the Honorable Dan Fernandez, along with the manifestation of the Honorable Matibag and the interpellation of the Honorable Castro, are referred to the Committee on Rules.